Good morning, everyone. It's travel time again. Today we're heading to Tokyo. I thought I'd give you guys a quick crash course in how to get into Japan without any hassle. So in this episode, we're going to talk about visa requirements, the stuff you might need to prepare in advance, the thing you need to do on the day you travel, what to expect when you get to the airport in Japan, because, it's almost the same, but a little different. And then a big one, which is once you get to any airport terminal, kind of how it's laid out and how to get to your hotel. Today, actually, it's August 1st, and Hurricane Krosa, Typhoon Krosa, is right beside Tokyo right now, right? And it will be there when I land. My flight is 3 hours from now. It still hasn't been canceled. It's still on time, so wish me luck. And if you see this video online, you know that I survived the typhoon. All right, so on that note, let's get checked in here. I've actually already checked in online, which is something you should always do, because usually most airports have a thing where you can just go to the bag drop off, and there they'll print your ticket and stuff like that, your boarding pass. That's about it. I got a couple thousand yen in my pocket, right? I got some cash in advance, so I'm prepared for that. I think I got everything I need, but I'll get into more details when I can sit down after I've gone through all this stuff here. All right, from the Coding Travel Blog, this is Mike. Let's go to Japan. Okay, I got a few minutes. I'm all checked in. I'm here at the gate, and flight's on time, so it looks like the typhoon has not caused any issues yet. I thought I'd just quickly go over the visa stuff. So just full disclosure, I lived in Japan 23 years, so I have permanent residency and all that. So when I go into Japan, I go into a special lineup that is for people with my kind of situation, and I just sit there and gloat at people trying to get in. When you arrive in Japan, you're obviously going to go into the foreigners lineup, and which is fine, but can take a long time. They can be a little bit slow depending on, the kind of visas people are coming in on. So when you get off that plane, like haul ass, right? Try and get, as fast as you can. I remember one time going into New York, and I just happened to be, I got in the lineup, and there was like only 2 officers working, and suddenly there's 150 people behind me, and just 10 people ahead of me took me half an hour. So Japan can be like that. So you need to kind of get moving. Okay, they're starting to board now. Just a few quick things. If you're coming to Japan and you're from the UK, the US, Canada, or Europe, plus a few other countries you'll have to check, you get an automatic 90-day exemption. It's really easy. And unlike a lot of countries, like say the Philippines, you don't have to have 6 months on your passport. You just have to have enough validity to be in the country. If you are not a citizen of those countries that have this exemption, like if you're a resident, like for example, if you're someone from India living in Canada as a long-time resident, but you're not a citizen, you'll need an e-visa. And you can get those online, processes fully online. I'll put links below. They're pretty easy to get, I've been told, right? Like mostly quick, but plan ahead for that. But they also give you 90 days, and they're 3,000 yen, which right now is like $20. The last thing, so that's your visas. That's the stuff you need to plan really far ahead. Next, within say a week or something, there's no real limit before you fly. You go to the website for Visit Japan Web, and I'll put that in the bottom below as well. This is kind of really important. It's basically just you putting your data in the computer, and they'll generate a QR code. So when you go through customs, you just flash that. Actually, you probably don't even need to flash it, because usually they have it on their system. There's a new one coming up that's like one of these entrance cards system like the US has, but that apparently is not, they're not even close to having that ready yet, I don't think. I guess other things you might be asked would be for a return ticket. That sometimes happens, I'm told. I don't really know, because I've got the Golden Boy status with my permanent residency. You may also be asked for proof of funds, okay, to make sure that you have enough to survive in Japan. Also something none of my friends have ever been asked, but just be prepared for it. On that note, they are boarding right now, and so I'm going to get on the plane. It's going to be a bumpy ride, I think, as we get close to Tokyo with that typhoon, but next stop, Tokyo. Okay, so I survived the typhoon. It wasn't so bad. It's like really close to Tokyo, but other than the last 10 minutes, it was all right. Good flight. So I'm now in Haneda Airport. Tokyo has 2 airports. I choose Haneda because I'm staying in the city and it's, it's close. I just checked, I just asked it information. The monorail runs now till after midnight, which is good. When you arrive in, any train station in Japan, you kind of have a number of options. So you could either take a train, which is what, a lot of people do. Trains are cheap, they're always on time, super efficient. You do have to be careful because in any train station, like I can see there's the monorail station over there, and there's the KU line over there, or KQ line, sorry, over there. There might be another train line. So you have to know they're not all in the same place, right? And you also have to realize that trains tend to stop fairly early here. The other thing is you could take a bus. Most airports have airport buses, especially the big ones. But that's usually if you're a little more seasoned, right? Because you got to kind of find them and whatever. A car, you can take a taxi. Japan does not have the normal, there's no Grab taxi. There's kind of like Uber here, but not really. The most popular one here is called Go. And I've actually never used it. I just grab taxis off the street because, it doesn't really matter. They're everywhere in Tokyo. But if you're if you're 20 kilometers away and you take a taxi, it's going to cost a lot. Taxis are still expensive here. Last year I arrived at Hamamatsuchō. I just took a taxi 2.5 kilometers, and that was like, I don't know, 20 something bucks. It adds up very fast. But in this case, because it's Haneda, they have a monorail, and I kind of like the monorail because it goes right into the Tokyo station area. But before you plan on coming to Tokyo, then check your trains. Download one of the train apps. There's tons of them. Something where you can kind of map your route. So that's about it. So you get your trains, planes, automobiles. I suggest using trains for your first time. They're just easier to navigate, and they're cheap, right? You're not going to have problems. There's always someone to ask if you need help. Japanese people, they won't approach you if you're lost, but if you ask anyone, they'll try and help you. I think that's about it for now. So I'm going to start heading to the monorail, get a ticket, get to my hotel. Then I'll probably do some kind of wrap up and just talk about the experience and maybe show you maybe the area, but there's still a typhoon. It's going to be raining outside. So I'll have to wait and see what happens. Anyway, happy to be back in Japan. I wasn't sure if I'd get in because my permanent residence thing has a bit of a issue. But yeah, it took minutes to get in. It's one of the beauties. The lineup for foreigners was not that long, but it will take them a long time. All right, so I'm going to head to the monorail. Okay, I kind of lucked out. As soon as I got up the stairs, there was a train here. I'm going to not talk because that's kind of train etiquette, but it's pretty quiet in these trains, right? So, all right, just enjoy the ride. And I've now officially made it to Hamamatsuchō. I'm not at my hotel yet, but the journey was smooth. It only takes 20 minutes in on the monorail. I stopped at an ATM to get some cash. One thing I just wanted to show you. So this is a Japanese train station. If you think that like everything in Japan is like the Jetsons, even though things run very well, I mean, you can see this place. It's like everything here seems to be in like a constant state of getting fixed. Yeah, the trains here, they're kind of clunky. They feel old. Other than the Shinkansen, the bullet train, it doesn't feel that modern. So don't freak out when you get here and think you've landed in the wrong country. Like Japanese toilets will like wash your bum for you and dry it and sing you a song while they do it. Everything's like super high tech in the house, except they don't have insulation. It's freezing cold, but that's for another video. But yeah, the trains are clunky, but a pretty successful trip overall. So just to summarize, before you get on the train, make sure you get your visa sorted. If you're a citizen of like a country like Canada or the EU or something, you get 90 days for free. You just show up, and with enough, as long as you have 90 days in your passport, and they'll just say, welcome to Japan. Make sure you fill out that digital card before you actually fly. They didn't ask for mine they never do. Same in the Philippines. They don't ask for it, but they can see it on their screen that you've got it. I had a pretty complex case because my exit thing for my card was in my old passport. I've just got a new passport. He dealt with that without any fuss in like a minute. So really quite efficient and quite smooth. When you get off in the stations, try and use the trains if you can. They're just kind of the easiest way, and you've always got someone to ask. But now I'm going to go find a taxi and just do the last 3 kilometers in a taxi because it's a typhoon. So I think what I need to do is find some beer and some yakitori, as my buddy Jason just pinged me and suggested. Welcome to Tokyo. All right, everyone, from the Coding Travel Bug. If I don't see you again, this is Mike. And yeah, like and subscribe as always for more whatever I'm doing. I don't even know. All right, you guys take care. See ya. As you know, my videos are like Marvel movies. You always get a little bit extra at the end. I thought I'd quickly show. I literally just checked in my hotel room. It's, I think, 13 square meters, something like that. This is what $134 a night gets you in downtown Tokyo. Now, I'm right down by Tokyo Station. This is, the business district, but still, this is a very small hotel. Bathroom is nice. It's a, nice little hotel. But yeah, things are teeny tiny here. All right, I think that's it. Unless I find some food, in which case I will take more video. Otherwise, welcome to 4 days of a tiny but very nice room. Welcome to Tokyo.